Hi guys, I'm trying a new little lighting solution. Eventually, I'll get better lighting. That's the goal. Improve this camera studio situation. Um, but I know nothing about audio visual stuff, so it'll be a slow work in progress with many other things in life. Um, yeah, nothing else. This is just like a channel for me to just talk to a screen and just kind of get things off my chest rather than let them like dwell in the mind and uh, make new manifestations. So it's Sunday. It's a new week. Um, New changes, definitely, and positive new changes, guys, gals. Um, Mostly good, I think. So I did finally bump into. I don't want to say her name, but I'll just say her nickname was Miss Red. So yeah, I bumped into her. Like I was just sitting outside the gym waiting for my Uber to show up, and then I see her walking in, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's her. Like I like her. I mean, I'd say I love her. But I love everyone to a degree, right? As recommended. But yeah, I mean, I like her. I think she has a beautiful heart, beautiful soul, and really, it's like I know that it's not really my place per se to just like directly evangelize to her because I mean, um, she knows who I am. She knows what I believe in, and she doesn't, and it doesn't bother her. If anything, it bothers me with my own religious spirit that I need to control and being judgmental towards others who are non-believers and believers alike. Those are things that I need to, continue to work on amongst other self-growth, topics. Um, Sorry, it's a little weird having like a light that's like right here for my cell phone, just like beaming into my face. Um, but trying to look past it. So, so yeah, guys. So good news is that I finally got to bump into her, and like I wasn't even expecting it at all, man. Like I've been like the past 2 months, it's like yeah, it was kind of eating at me a little bit because I like her, not in a sexual way, like that's just in a heart way. Um, so yeah, like this probably sounds cheesy or stalkerish maybe, but I don't know. Since I have a new phone, I lost her phone number, so I was like, all right, whatever. She didn't want to like. It was just like a sudden smile and nod interaction because we kind of just left on a random note, I guess, just a blank text, and then kind of just. But not gonna go into the details. Point of the matter is that I was like, oh shoot, like, do you want to just wait till you see her again and maybe bump into her and try to like connect with her since I had no phone number or anything? So I was like, you know what, screw it, man. I keep flashcards in my car for my little, uh, I don't know, for my own ministry. Let's just use proper words. But I was like, all right, screw it, I know what kind of car she drives, so like I wrote down like a little note and then I'll put my new phone number in and just like folded it and like put it on her windshield wiper blade. And I was like, all right, if she never calls me back, cool, I get it. If she does, cool. But like no expectations, Whatever happens, happens. It's not in my hands. But yeah, she actually texted me like a few hours later that day, and we just kind of like said hello and kind of told her some of my own, business, what's been going on with life. And I was like, hey, who cares, man? If she doesn't want to talk to me anymore or in that kind of context, cool. It's whatever. Um, but no, she was excited to just reconnect, and I was happy, happy to receive that. So yeah, so I was just like tidying up the place yesterday after the gym. Oh, and guys, I got a new set of wheels. You can see. Um, it's a box of like cardboard trash I need to throw away, but it's a big one. It came with the scooter box, so it's like bulky, but I'll get to it hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, like she actually just asked if she could come over, and then she helped me like help me tidy up the apartment for 30 minutes. We just kind of just joked and talked, and it was good. It was beautiful. This was yesterday, and I'm just happy, like just little things like that in life that you don't expect to just like show up. So yeah, I got new transportation, and I even had a tumble yesterday. Like when I was like trying it out, like heading to the gym, I forgot to like set a locking pin that like keeps the handlebars locked up. Like I thought it was just like a little latch, but yeah, I freaking hit the first bump and I just it buckles in and then I got road rash all over my left side of my bottom and it doesn't feel good, but and then I had to like freaking just like try to get back up so I don't look like a freaking like I used to be a skateboarder, so it's like when you fall, you just want to get back up and pretend like it doesn't hurt. So I'm just like shit, man. Like my freaking but like my freaking tush was on fire like the whole trek, and then I'm like learning how to operate this thing, and then like the sidewalks all kind of like bumpy, and there's like branches and debris in the middle of different little pathways to. Luckily, the gym is like a straight shot, so it's only like a few intersections, and there's all sidewalks, so it's not like I got to be on the road getting hit by a car or something. But it's still dangerous. I mean, all it takes is for one little twist, and then I fall into the road, and boom, you know. So I just have to be mindful that accidents are very escalatory if they don't go. But bottom line is I got to be safe and probably not wear gym shorts when I'm riding it, and just wear jeans as if they're like chaps or something. So yeah, just little new changes, and those terms. But yeah, I'm just happy, like I'm happy to be able to talk to Miss Red again, and just like just have a friend, like when you're like battling just deep loneliness, like every little positive thing that can go in your favor, it's like magnified, like raises a whole magnitude. Um, so yeah, I'm just feeling good. In terms of substance abuse, still maintaining alcohol sobriety, and maintaining the celibacy, and I did finally get that THC stuff kicked to the curb a couple days ago, so my sleep's still kind of like not the greatest, but I did get back into using little like nicotine vape, man. Like maybe I could, maybe I can't quit this nicotine stuff. I'm sure I could, obviously, but I gotta be very mindful of my mood, like the resting mood that's in. I believe we all have like a resting mood, and it's like say from a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being the best day in your life and in your world. It's your honeymoon day after your marriage feeling to your family just your whole family just died in a plane crash is like the zero. And I believe we have to just keep our mood at 50 or above. As long as we can do that, then I mean we're being successful in life, in my opinion, right? Dan's opinion. I'm not the arbiter of how to do your life. I'm probably viewed as a loser in probably the majority of people's eyes anyway. So what the hell do I know? But what I do know is that for me, many mental health factors and emotional factors, it's like if there's one core thing that they do hinge on, I found for me, mood is like the core, um, like the independent variable. Um, I don't know. I could probably say it better. But to me, mood is like the core, at least in like earthly life. I'm sure it changes in the spiritual world, and it's a whole nother. You're like tied into something that's much greater than we can even comprehend ever. Um, but yeah, like just being on this planet Earth, man. There's so many things trying to like get at us to pull us this way, that way, this way, that, and it's like a fourth dimensional sphere. So it's like you don't know how much is one side's pulling at you to another one that's over here to there to there to there, and all different magnitudes. And You gotta have I think we all have to have a foundation in faith and something. Hell, be a narcissist and just believe in yourself or something. I don't know. I don't think that's the path I desire. But yeah, just just wanted to just give you guys just a update, I guess, and Dan's worldview, how his mood is doing. Like, if I were to make an aggregate of my mood in February, definitely sub 50. Definitely sub 50. In January, it was kind of like on the rise because I just got out of the hospital. I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm out of here. I got my own freedom, my space, my privacy, blah 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 blah. So like January wasn't so bad. Well, yeah, after the incident, um, it was just kind of like being in shock, I guess. Like not everything was all coming into fruition, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get this case dismissed, dropped, and February will just get me back on the train. Um, but yeah, what does that mean, getting back on the train, right? Um, for me, it means just having just like a direction. And if my direction is just okay, how can I get back into the grind? Because I mean, yeah, I'm financially solvent with the benefits, but everything else is in disarray. So we need to start putting the pieces back into their proper places. So not to be like a Debbie Downer, but I mean, I have to be a realist. I still live on this planet Earth, so I gotta accept that in this current situation, there are different outcomes. Best one being all charges dropped and I can go back to driving Uber and do that educational plan. But that's not guaranteed, you know. And option B is if that stuff doesn't go that direction, I'll figure out what I got to do with the car insurance and the car payments. That's smaller potatoes. But what I'm thinking right now is that if if the lawyers drop the ball, which I mean they haven't impressed me yet. They're supposed to call me last week to schedule an appointment to meet in person, and nothing. Monday through Friday, nada. Like could I have called them and tried to like arrange it? Yeah, but you know what, man? I'm just tired of babysitting my own legal team. They're supposed to be professionals. They have college degrees. I think it's what, like a 4-year degree just to be a paralegal, or a 2-year degree. She's a lady in her 50s, so she knows what she's doing. She knows how to do her job well. If she doesn't want to do her job well for me, then that's her prerogative. I'm not going to keep groveling to her and begging her to make contact with the police department. Call the VA and get records. Like, you should know how to do these things, so I expect you to know these things. If you can't do them well, then I just paid for a crappy product and I got to just wait it out, I guess. I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I don't like holding people's hands, man. Nobody holds my hands. Lord knows that. So, but still, it's like I don't like holding people's hands. I don't like telling people how to do their jobs if I know they know how to do their jobs. That's just a laziness factor, and I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I can't tell you, hey, stop being lazy to me. Like that's free will. you know, we all have free will. We have to respect that. Um, which might go into the other topic, and I mean, you guys probably already know my thing with the relationship thing and marriage and Christian godly man virtue values that I should have, but I just I, maybe I'm sure I could be a stand-up Christian virtuous man, but even if I had all of these attributes and could project all these attributes to a woman, and it still would mean I'd have to be like a dominant alpha male type archetype, I guess, and it's just not in my DNA, man. It just isn't. I don't have any desire to want to control another human being or a woman in my life and tell her how she needs to think, act, believe, and talk and dress. And Like, look, if you're a grown woman, you have free will. You make your choices. I have to reap what I sow, so I mean, we all have to reap what we sow. And but it's like all the churches and the Christian groups are all like, oh, if you're a man, you gotta step it up and stand up and uh, like I don't have anything to prove to anyone, man. I did my time. I joined the Marine Corps. I went to Iraq twice and went to war. Like, am I supposed to just like be all tough and macho because I was trained to kill people? I mean, I don't know. I I already got rid of my ego, so like, why try to like dig it back out of a dumpster and try to re-inject it into my mind and then deal with all the egotistical insecurities that come with it if you're not rising up to the standards of whatever the current alpha culture, male culture is. Like, I don't I don't care about this stuff, man. I really don't. I just care about just trying to find ways to just smile and appreciate nature and life. That's what brings me more joy and happiness is just um, having just good conversations with guys, people who I trust and enjoy being around. That's what's more important to me. Um, and just focusing on my sobriety goals, my celibacy goals, like that's what puts pep into my step. Um, so these videos are never scripted. I think you've oh, never. I can't say never, um, but yeah, just want to just talk to a few faces who watch this video. Share the good news that Dan's life is finally starting to like get back uh get back onto the grooves, into the rails of happiness, joy, salvation. And what else? So yeah, so let's talk about goals, well, now that I don't have to spend $20 plus, well, shit, shoot, $25 plus a day. That's if I don't have to pay for the surges on Uber. So, I mean, I've already, cost reduction has gone up a lot. Um, my eating diet is kind of like it needs improvement, but I haven't figured out which which kind of eating style I want to do. Right now, it's just cheap bachelor food. Because I mean, I did splurge a lot on my credit cards, so I gotta like start reversing that trajectory. So I just kind of like went El Cheapo and did the ramen noodle. At least I got good quality Nathan's hot dogs, like the bulk pack, and some Mexican cheese, so I can and hot sauce, of course, Frank's Red Hot sauce. But yeah, and that's about it. So I need to figure out a better way. Like there's a Sprouts literally right next to me. Like I can literally walk for 3 minutes and be there almost. And there's a Publix that's again 5 minutes walk. If I move too much on my bottom, I can feel like the skin is like going against raw skin against sandpaper is what it feels like. Especially when my boxers stick to that area when I have to use the bathroom, and it's not fun. But such is life. You fall down, you just got to get back up and be like, I'm not gonna be a quitter. It just can't be. But so yeah, let's talk about goals before this becomes a long video that nobody wants to watch. Um, this is still kind of weird having a light that's like in your face while you're talking to a wall. But yeah, guys. So goals, goals, goals. We're coming into a new month, April. Uh, and just how I kind of do things, it's kind of like a circle. Let's see if I can draw it. Ow, my tush. Ah, it hurts. Let's draw a circle. Remember, we're not worried about perfection. Not. Let's just give it 4 quadrants. Crisscross applesauce. One's being sexual, romance, physical slash diet. Not like fad diets, but just how my nutrition is looking. Emotional and mental health, And in my opinion, they're all interconnected. So something like this, except you guys would have to be able to read like a dyslexic person or something and see through glare. So you gotta put your polarized glasses on. But yeah, like basically, it's not something I'm like consciously doing every moment, but it's like if I want to like assess myself and then see where am I at right now, just take like a snapshot of yourself and I just be like, okay, let's in my mind, of course, not on paper, or I could do on paper, journaling, but it's like, okay, sexual romance. So I'm practicing celibacy intentionally for life. So that keeps it pretty simple. Pretty much, in terms of relationships, I would have to meet a woman, which I don't know how I met this woman. Well, I know how I met her, but like her ability to just not judge and actually respect my boundaries, and I respect hers, of course. It's just like natural chemistry, man. And she like, plus the good thing is I'm not really into male, female, heterosexual intercourse stuff. Like, doing the action, I'm not gonna draw it out. But yeah, like it's just I don't know if I'm just more asexual or something. I don't know, man. Or just life the way I was formed. But yeah, this is gonna be a long one. Oh well, you guys can just put on pause and watch it later or something. So yeah, so in that sense, like let's just take it one day at a time and just have low expectations and just see where it goes. Like my views on marriage is that I have to be a godly husband. I'd have to, desire to want to be fruitful and have kids and multiply and lead my wife, lead my family, and have a solid income and a stable blah 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 blah. Like these are all things that maybe I desired them earlier in my 30s, my stings, or my 20s, but really I was just chasing, what I was into. But stay focused. So yeah, but in that area, like life, I think it's going well, so I'm not worried about that sense. Just, you know, more or less don't go in the reverse order, the reverse direction of going back into the lifestyle choices and actions and activities. Physical is more like diet, just overall life stuff, jobs. So yeah, so as far as jobs go, if I can't do the Uber option, I kind of like what my gut's telling me. Maybe it's the Holy Spirit, and just my own spiritual consciousness is like maybe jobs in like the hospitality, since I do live in Greenville, and there's a lot of like hotels and stuff in downtown Greenville. So that's kind of going to be like my primary focal point is just looking for employment in that area. If my driver's license can't be restored, um, I may have to just like cancel or just discontinue my insurance and just pay to keep my car registered and keep it in good standing, I guess. Maintain the car payments and let that be what it is. I'll figure out how to do oil changes, but I'll cross that bridge when I need to. Emotional. So that's probably more tied. What are my feelings? What are my feelings? I guess that's more like the mood, right? So it's got a importance to it. But usually emotional and mental kind of um, go together. I mean, they are all to me. They're all interconnected. I see it as like a ball or a sphere or like a pyramid where you want it to all be uniform, right? You don't want to have a ball that's like dented in and looking strange. Like if you can imagine a 3D sphere, but the circle, but that's like a cross section, and then having like a Earth, it's all just like you want it to be nice and uniform, like our moon, a planet. I don't know, gaseous one because that's more round. Um, but yeah, so what did I even want to talk about? We gotta wrap this up. So yeah, life is improving, guys. And romance, it spiked in the positive. Again, I don't even crave to want to like do that stuff with this, you know. Thankfully, none of that is even, everything's staying relatively inert, which is good. It gets easier over time, I guess, with the duration of being celibate and blah blah blah. Um, Job wise, yeah. So I mean, I'm not. My goal is that by June 1st, well, really by the end of April, as long as I don't relapse with the Delta stuff and gummies and edibles, I should have like the stuff out of my system. Hopefully by middle of May, it should be non-existent. Um, so by like I don't know, May 15th, for instance, I should have some kind of clear. In 45 days, I should definitely know what's going on with my legal matters. If not, then I gotta just be like, lawyers, what the hell are you guys doing, man? But so yeah, hopefully by May 15th, I'll have a kind of a solid clarity of, will I have to look for a new job? It'll be non-driving to get there, or will I be able to resume my life that got halted on January 12th? You know, we'll see. Um, Overall mood is increasing. I knew once the scooter was going to come in and arrive, it would solve a lot of like cabin fever, domestic um, concerns, problems. I don't like the word problems, right? Because that means you have to look for a solution. But sometimes there aren't really any practical solutions. You just got to just be like, oh, okay, just let time do its course. So yeah, so uh, what do we got? Mental health. What are we doing for mental health? Well, if I can improve my eating diet, then that'll improve my gut health, which our brain is very dependent on our gut. So if our gut flora and our gut health is all destroyed from McDonald's and my ramen noodles every day, then hey, now I know where to start. So hopefully, once I chomp through these packets of ramen and hot dogs, I can just go to Sprouts and just look for a healthier, like money's not a major concern right now, and even in terms of like credit card debt, like yeah, I spiked my debt profile, but I have a really large credit card limit. I had it like almost down to zero practically until the meteor crashed into my planet. Um, but yeah, so but in terms of that, like I'm like okay, I can either cry about my debt reaching levels I don't want it to be at, and my credit score is gonna fall. Wah, wah. Not like I want to own a house tomorrow or a condo. So, um, but yeah, and even on that same topic, it's like okay, I have 30 potential workable years of my life, and if as soon as I get a job, I mean that income will allow the VA money to just liquidate the debt to zero by the end of this year relatively easily if all goes well, right? But yeah, so I mean, everything's starting to kind of like where there were dips and holes and potholes in my sphere or whatever, it's starting to get like filled in and like filled in properly. Um, so yeah, so I mean, if you guys have been praying for me, thank you, thank you. I pray for you guys too, that you guys can just be filled with the Holy Spirit and not have to suffer the hell I have to go through. And if your life can be easier, if I can make your life just slightly easier just by saying whatever I say. I don't know, some words are inspired by the Holy Spirit and you don't know how you're affecting someone else's world, but they hear it how they need to hear it, and that's just the way the spiritual world works, I guess. But yeah, guys, so thank you. I'll say a quick private prayer for us, and thank you for watching. And just to brighter days, guys. See, even the light brings out brighter days. Um, but yeah, guys, to brighter days. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.